So this video is about how to muscle test yourself. Now, you may not be able to get this right away, but don't worry, you will. It just takes practice and most of all, it takes a belief and a trusting in your own intuition. So if you're feeling, oh, I don't know if I trust my own intuition, then, maybe just sit down and write out, is there something preventing me from trusting my own intuition? Funny thing is, write this out with your dominant hand and then immediately put the pen into your opposite hand. And then just sit there and wait for an answer. And you may be surprised at the answer that comes. But when you get an answer, write it down with your non-dominant hand. Even if it looks terrible and you can hardly read it, but write it down with that hand. That's the intuitive part of our personalities, usually represented by our non-dominant hand or our non-dominant side. So that's one thing you can do if you're feeling like, oh, I don't trust myself. And I totally felt that way before too. I remember when we first moved to Hawaii, one of our neighbors, he was this master kinesiologist and was just great at doing the muscle testing on himself. And I think he even did it, the one he did was like this, which to me is a little bit harder. The one that I've learned to do is to use your middle finger and your thumbs and put those together. But what you want to do is just make sure that there's like the minimal amount of pressure. You're not holding them together with all your might. Okay, so just barely touching. And you put those together, okay? And I want you to just practice. And this is going to take a while of doing this. I want you to practice with what your yes is and what your no is. So you can say this all throughout the day. Even if you're sitting at work, you can say to yourself, you don't even have to say it out loud. You can say love. And then you're like, oh, it's strong. And you can say hate. And you'll notice sometimes it's not a super huge difference. It can be just the strength of this one little part of your finger, which is what it is for me, that tells me the difference between a yes and a no. But you can also, my name is Jessica. Oh, that's strong. My name is Bob. Not so strong. So these are questions, just things you already know, things your conscious brain knows are either positive or negative, truth or not truth. And you just start practicing this over and over. Yes, no, yes, no, love, hate, that kind of thing. When you start to get good at this, then you can start asking questions about yourself. So you can look at this coconut water right here that I'm drinking, and you can say, is this coconut water good for me? Oh, it's strong. And I could look over here at this coffee that I was drinking, and I could say, is this coffee good for me? Oh, it said no. Well, I kind of already knew that. I've been choosing to ignore it, but this is how you start to gain confidence in doing this, is by just practicing over and over and over. Then, if you are wanting to do something similar to what I'm doing, which is using, well, emotion code or body code it's just a system of using the kinesiology or the muscle testing in order to give you information about your own subconscious. Or if you choose to become a practitioner, other people's subconsciouses. So if you're using this just for your own sake, right, and you're knowing, gosh, there's this nagging thing, I know that there's some part of my childhood I'm not remembering, there's something, these are the kinds of situations or things that you can delve into using the muscle testing on yourself. Now, you can always go to, I can't remember if it's just drbradleynelson.com. I'm pretty sure that that's the website where you can download a free copy of his little emotion code chart, which has the 60 different emotions broken down into columns and rows, because then it makes it a lot easier for you to ask questions. So just when you're doing questions, remember, your subconscious mind, it's not as if you're going to say, oh, what was it that I experienced as a child that was so terrible for me? Well, it can't tell you that. It's a binary computer. It can give you 1 or 0, yes or no. All right, so that's the way we have to approach delving into our subconscious, is in a yes or a no. All right, so when you start to ask yourself questions, is there something unhealed from my childhood? Yes. Did this something occur before the age of 8? No. Okay. Does this something relate to my parents? Yes. Okay, so see what I'm saying is that you start to narrow it down that way. And then having a little emotion code chart is great because it just gives you an opportunity to make that question yes or no period shorter. So you can say, oh, is there a trapped emotion? Yes. Okay, is this trapped emotion in column A? No, it's not. Okay, so it must be in column B. So is this emotion in an odd row? No. Okay, so it must be in an even row. And then you go and you find which row it is, and then you say, is this emotion stubbornness? Nope. Is this emotion blame? Oh, yep. So do you see what I'm saying? Or do you see how that this is, it's just something that you get more and more comfortable with. But definitely, at least for me, the thing that was holding me back from doing this before was just not having enough faith in my own intuition. Even though there had been plenty of examples throughout my life where my intuition was spot on. But like a muscle, right? Intuition grows the more you use it. So the more you trust your own intuition, especially when it comes to your own life and what you're doing, the more that intuition will become strong and stronger. And you'll start to get very, very clear messages about which direction to go, what things to do. And then your life no longer feels out of your control, even though it never is. But sometimes it feels that way. It feels as if we're being led by some unseen force and we have no idea why or where. So the more that you can get in tune with accessing your subconscious, the better things will go for you, and the faster you'll move along in a way that feels satisfying to you. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you later.